Now, as Ryan, Trenton, and Sean grab your attention towards the world of sports, food, and entertainment, and away from the things that are probably more important, we apologize for nothing and anything that may be spoken, learned, or forgotten today. This is the Real Tree Shaker Show.
Hello, and welcome to the Real Tree Shaker Show. I'm Ryan.
Yeah, he's back.
I'm not.
Full throttle. Let's go.
I'm the one-eared Trenton. Oh, man.
Up, Sean. Welcome. As you can tell, we're pumped. He's pumped.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're
yes.
back.
Oh.
Ryan has been on a hiatus working on those lungs. But welcome, everybody. Well, Ryan, welcome back. Since your lungs are nice and healthy, last episode, me and T talked about that cheese wheel race. And we were wondering, would you do it?
Hell yes. Hell yes.
Now, would you
There's
would you make it to the bottom of the hill in one piece?
I hope. I feel like those people are like specially trained. Like they probably, like the other 364 days they train on that hill, you know, just rolling down it, practicing, you know, like how can you safely roll down a hill, you know?
That's true.
I don't know, but right.
Like that's not. I don't think there's
Ryan
a
would
way
be
to do
more
it.
worried about the beer he's holding instead of
Right?
the cheese.
Yeah.
The cheese, you know.
I try to keep that intact. Don't spill.
I could just see Ryan just going down the hill trying to chug the beer, yelling at one of us to bring him another one,
or throwing water,
Exactly.
flowing, you know.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me, boys.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
everybody, tonight we got another top 5. We're gonna do our top 5 sodas. So this obviously would be a different list from when we were in high school compared to now.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna talk a little NBA Finals as they finally are starting tonight. I almost forgot that they were happening.
Feels like forever.
Yeah, you know, finally the pressure is on, but we'll get to that soon, and then we'll see what other kind of Bulljunk we'll get into. But guys, before we get started, some history is made this week. Does anybody know what is happening? T, you nailed it right away last week. That was sweet.
The Cowboys haven't signed anybody.
They're all in though.
Yeah, but they haven't pushed play yet.
Yeah.
No, guys.
Give us a hint.
T, okay, well, this is up T's alley. You always watch them in the mornings, but it's actually a show at night. It's an all-time classic. Okay.
You got
It's
me.
a show he watches in the morning, but it takes place at night.
No. The theme is, okay, it's a game show.
Oh, you're
Price
talking
is Right.
about no, I heard this. What's his nuts from Wheel of Fortune retiring?
Oh,
Bingo.
Pat
T
Sajak.
is 2 for 2. Oh
Right.
my gosh.
Back
the
to
quiz
town.
master.
Dang.
But yes, it is Pat Sajak's final week on Wheel of Fortune. This guy makes $14 million a year just to tell people to spin the wheel and sorry you suck, you hit a bankrupt.
Yeah.
But do you know
Wow.
how many times a month that they work?
4.
4 is correct. When they record,
I guess.
how many? So
Really?
on those 4 days, yes, and on those 4 days, how many episodes do you think they record?
22.
15?
Both wrong. 6 is usually how much they do.
Well,
But I mean, what a cool job. I mean, he's a great host. I mean, I wonder, I didn't see if they have announced a replacement yet. Have you?
that's what I was
You
going to
guys-
ask.
I've
No.
not. No.
Okay.
They're going to do probably a tryout like Jeopardy did, I'm sure, and have some people try it out. Who was I seeing that was rumored to do it? I'm trying to remember.
Maybe Steve Harvey. He's on everything. So
it was a comedian. I know that. I just cannot remember. It might have been him. But
Tom
interesting.
Segura, Dave
you go.
Chappelle. Dave
Right.
Chappelle and Will.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I still watch it, because I still love Jeopardy. That's still one of my favorite shows to watch. So that's a cool little combo. And usually it was, growing up, it was on TV when we were eating dinner, so you couldn't help but,
Your buddy Ryan Seacrest is taking over.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, that's who is. They had to get someone, I guess, as short as Pat Sajak. So
why? So they can keep reusing the same suits they have?
Yeah,
or something?
pretty much. Here you go.
Budget.
We got your wardrobe. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not as popular, I don't think, and I don't really watch it. It was my mom's favorite show, so she watched it every night at 6:30 before her shows would come on. But I don't know. I never really watched it outside of that once I left home. So, but
yeah,
I would just use.
What a career!
Yeah, I would just say, look, can I go eat dinner in the living room because it's educational? I mean, how can you argue with that?
It's true.
How can you argue with that? All right, well, let's not keep everybody from quenching their thirst as we're about to deliver our top 5 sodas. Mr. Ryan, Mr. Anderson, take it away.
Mr. Anderson.
Okay. So I have some honorable mentions I want to throw in there, and a little disclaimer too. I pretty much only drink 0 sugar sodas now. Not all of these are going to be that, but if they offer it in a 0 sugar flavor, that's what I get. So I'm old now, gotta watch the blood sugar, all that crap you got to worry about when you get old. So I don't really drink like full sugar sodas very often. It's once a year maybe, but so just that as a disclaimer, if they have a 0
you make
sugar
that sound like
flavor,
if someone runs into you and they want to buy you a soda, they already know. I mean, did you hear the disclaimer?
0 sugar, sorry.
Did you hear the disclaimer?
That disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
So some honorable mention flavors I have. My first one I had was Sprecher's root beer. Don't know if you guys have ever had that flavor before, but really good.
What's it called again?
Sprecher's root beer. It's based out of Sean's favorite city of Pittsburgh. But I believe so. Don't fact check me on that.
It is a cool city, man. It's a cool city.
True.
There's other factors, but
right. True. But yeah, it's like smooth, great tasting flavor of that. And yeah, I know that you have your Barks and your other flavors, your mug and all that, but man, Sprecher's is just really good, ice cold. My second one under my honorable, I would say, is RC Cola, which I know is one of Sean's faves, but I'm gonna guess. But it is a great old school flavor. It's like nostalgia cola flavor to me. Like it just reminds me of, I don't know, those old school sodas a lot, which were probably better back then than they are now. So when they weren't made with so much high fructose corn syrup, But my other honorable mention is Wild Cherry Pepsi. So really a big fan of that. Love the flavor of it. It's my favorite Pepsi flavor for sure. Can be hard to find sometime. I've seen it in a couple fountains, but very hard. So on to the top 5. Number 5, I have strawberry Fanta. So awesome flavor. I don't usually like too many fruit flavored, like true fruit flavored. So
cocktail.
Fruit.
Cocktail.
But I don't know, man. This soda just hits really well, and it's pretty refreshing, and kind of ties into my number 4. I say I don't like fruit but I actually had to with number 4. I kind of have a tie because it's the same brand, so I'm gonna say Jarritos, guava, and mandarin. So I don't know if you guys have ever had the guava, but it's delicious. It's so hard to find. If you ever,
phenomenal.
the mandarin is awesome. The mandarin's awesome too. But if you ever get a chance to try the guava, try it. It's so good. It's delicious, very delicious. So, and keeping with the Mexico theme here, number 3, I have Mexican Coca-Cola, and not American Coca-Cola, but Mexican Coca-Cola, made with real sugar. No, none of that high fructose corn syrup mess. I love it. Real sugar. It's great. Ice cold. Eating some tacos. Grab you a Mexican Coke. You'll thank me for that for sure.
You don't drink Coke with tacos.
Yes, you do.
It's pretty good.
When he's driving.
Mexico, come on. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Number 2.
To get more beer.
This is hard to decide between 2 and 1, but number 2, Baja Blast. Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Just damn, it's so delicious. It was the reason I went to Taco Bell.
Amen.
Even before before I really liked the food a lot, it was like Baja Blast, delicious. I love that they sell it in cans now. It's great. And number 1, man, I'm gonna keep it simple. Kind of what got me to love soda, Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
So just keep it simple. And I don't know if you guys saw, I think I said that to y'all, that Dr. Pepper overtook Pepsi as the number 2 soda in the US now, which is pretty crazy because they're based in Texas, so, and it's not available everywhere. I don't think it is. So pretty wild.
I don't know. That's a good question on that. Right. I'm not too sure.
But
there's Dr. Pepper
delicious. Is there? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're kind of the South still, I'm saying you couldn't go to Maine and find it, I don't think.
Maine. Why the hell would you even go to Maine?
The lobster.
The lobster.
Lobster.
Yeah, when we hook up with those fancy Kentucky Derby people one day,
there you
maybe
go.
they'll
See?
take us to their...
Exactly. Well,
do you eat? So then I guess you would have to put your pinky up when you eat the lobster tails.
Yes. When you dip it in the butter.
Now, do you toast both sides of the lobster tail?
Yes. Of course.
Oh, goodness, man. Goodness.
No side left undone.
Yeah, no side undone. That's right.
All right, T, take it away with your top 5 sodas.
Cool. Kind of like Ryan, with his disclaimer. I stopped drinking sodas for like 7 years, and so I mean now I drink one from time to time. So the palate's definitely changed. But my honorable mention: Fanta, all flavors, even the grape flavor, like you said, strawberry, the orange flavor. They're all pretty consistent. Yeah. So I mean, it's tough to every once in a while. They do taste good, I guess, or sound good. So it's like, oh, cool, and then you realize like, oh, this is why you don't drink them so often. Also got Mexican Coke in there because I like Ryan, like I agree with all sodas out of the old school glass bottles. I think taste better. Like I remember that being when I was probably 8 years old, and I'd go to my mom was a school teacher, so I'd go to her school and hang out for a little bit during the summer while she's getting ready for the fall and all that stuff. And they had one of those old school like Coke machines with the glass bottles. So it was like, oh,
sweet,
pretty cool. So let's see. I got RC on there as an honorable mention, and I also have Sunkissed because Sunkissed used to be pretty darn tasty back in the day. Kind of like Ryan was saying, they don't taste right, or they don't taste the same like they used to. Number 5 though, Mountain Dew, original flavor, clearly Baja flavor. It's a strong one, but it's tasty, especially through Taco Bell or the munchies you might have at that particular moment. Number 4, I got cherry Coke. Kind of like cherry Pepsi, just either one. Like every once in a while, it's just really, really hit the spot. And wow as well. And Cat agrees with me. Cat likes my list. That's awesome. I got a fan.
There you go.
But yeah, cherry Coke every once in a while. It's, not necessarily a go-to, but just like I said, one of those ones where you just kind of crave. Number 3 is a Big Red, which I had half one yesterday. I'm gonna drink the other half today before it goes flat. Yeah, just I used to back in the day when I was
John's not a fan, I guess.
Oh, that's fine. Let him be.
You can put that right with oatmeal cream pies. So,
oh, boo!
Together, they're great.
Oh,
I was gonna say back when we were younger, having some fun times. I would do like 3/4 Dr. Pepper and then a quarter of Big Red, at the convenience store, and just drink on that for the day. So, and then number 2, I got Dr. Pepper / Mr. Pibb because Dr. Pepper was one of my favorites back when I was drinking a lot of sodas, and then Mr. Pibb you could only find like at the movie theater and stuff like that. So, and then they eventually brought Mr. Pibb into the convenience stores.
So question: do you think it tastes the same though? It never has to me, really.
I don't think it tastes the same. I just think it's in the same ballpark. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not.
I don't like when they don't have it when I ask for that and they say you want a Pibb. I'm like, nah, just give me a water.
I'm not I'm not turning down a Pibb, man. Pibb's I mean, I might now, but no. If they offer me that instead of Dr. Pepper, I would take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I think it's good every once in a while. Like I don't know. It's a good change of pace.
Yeah.
Then number 1, I got root beer. Like I said, ever since I've soda, give them up for a long time, and then you go back and you have one, your taste buds will flip out. Like what is going on? So,
are you a root beer float fan?
Yeah, definitely so. I haven't had one in a little while, but yeah, definitely so. Yeah.
Which kind of root beer do you like the best?
I was about to say I like Barg's the best because it's got bite.
There you go.
But IBC is also pretty good. But I haven't tried that. I don't know if I've tried that one that you said, Sean.
Yeah, Sprecher's. It's good.
I don't think
if you can find it, try it. You probably can in Austin there, I bet.
So, I know when I was.
Don't they make that? Go ahead, T.
I was gonna say I know years ago when I worked at Alamo, they had a root beer on tap from one of the beer companies here, and it was pretty good. It wasn't bad at all. Just walk up to a tap and pour a root beer. So pretty tasty though. What were you gonna say, Sean?
Oh, I was just that reminded me of, remember the Long John Silvers when they combined with A&W and you'd go in and order your food and they'd give you a frosty mug. And then they had the barrel. They had the barrel.
They had
in the
a keg
of, the
of root beer. Yeah, they had a keg of root beer there in the.
That was
delicious.
No, I was gonna ask, have either one of you guys tried that? Like, it's not your dad's root beer or something like that. It's like
isn't that hard root beer?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it has alcohol in it. I've had that.
Yeah, a long time ago. I did try it. Yeah.
I actually saw a little 4-pack of that today at work. But all right. Ryan, going back to your top 5, I'm surprised you didn't have Big Red in there.
It was close. I probably should have put it. I mean, that and some barbacoa, man. Oh, it's delicious. Oh, I can eat that all day, man.
BRB.
Some barbacoa tacos. Yep. It's good.
Absolutely. All right. Well, on to me. Although I'm going to go honorable mention just to shout out to my grandma. She used to always have Tab at her house. So I would get to have Tab and like Cheetos, puffy Cheetos, and she had ice cream sandwiches. I just always remember that every time I went to go see my grandma.
Tab, the original zero sugar soda.
You know what? Yeah. Shout out to my grandmother who is no longer with us, but like that was a big thing with the Dr. Pepper. Like it was every time I'd come to Austin or go visit them and stuff, there was always like whatever reason her fridge was cold as could be. And so it was like, oh man, cold Dr. Pepper, like, oh yeah, out of a can for sure. So shout out to them on that too. So
definitely. So all right, so some honorable mentions. The Crush, grape and orange. I love Crush.
oh yeah,
More than
okay.
Sunkissed, but Ryan said it earlier. Jarritos, the Mandarin, fantastic. Always when I see one that's in a bottle, like a convenience store and it's cold, definitely got to get one of those.
I'll have to try it.
I will not give an honorable mention to Big Red. Cherry 7 Up is also a honorable mention. So, what?
7
Yeah,
Up.
not a
Oh my
fan.
Lord.
Tastes like cough. It tastes like cherry cough syrup, man. Come on.
Well, then maybe that's why
That's
I
what it
feel good
reminds
during
me
the
of.
daytime.
Like, give me some
But-
NyQuil. Nah, just
Yeah.
drink some cherry stuff.
If I want a NyQuil, I'd drink Big Red and eat a
Oh,
oatmeal cream pie. Anyways, at number 5, I have Mr. Pibb. I could definitely taste the difference, but I think that's why it's not as sweet as Dr. Pepper to me.
I agree.
So
I do agree
that's
on
why. That's why I'm not. But yeah, if you can find Pibb in a fountain machine, that's awesome. But a lot of these new restaurants have that, the digital soda machine where you could pick the soda and then you can pick the flavors. So if you get like a cherry Mr. Pibb, that's really good. At 4, cherry mellow yellow.
Okay.
Love
Mellow
mellow
Yellow's
yellow.
good.
Yep, I would definitely take a mellow yellow over a Mountain Dew. Maybe certain flavors, but at number 3, I have Pepsi. The Pepsi and cherry Pepsi. Always classic.
Yeah.
Simple. I think, at 2, Baja Blast. I'm with you guys for a while. The main reason I would go to Taco Bell was for Baja Blast. And yes, I would fill it up, chug half of it, refill it, go sit down. And before I left, I made sure I had a full one. Which,
for sure.
Have to. Because for a while, it would be like a limited time. Like they'd bring it back like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it wouldn't always be in the restaurant. Either.
Or
you just
even
had to catch them when they had
even
it.
at the grocery store, yeah. So, but yeah, they got it fully stocked now. And you guys already know this, but thanks for not spoiling it. But at number 1, RC Cola. Just has always been a favorite of mine. It's a little hard to find up here. Where I work, it's like freaking $9 a 12-pack. So wait for it to go on sale. Yeah.
$9 a 12-pack. I mean, I haven't bought a 12-pack of soda and shoot, I don't get it.
That's
like
higher
a long
than
time.
Austin
I have no
prices.
idea what they even run now.
Yeah,
that seems much.
Wow.
What's Ryan doing?
There it is. I don't know. You had like a fish face for a second. Video froze up on you.
He had that.
I was thinking of that cherry 7-Up, probably like, oh
yeah.
had that Danny Dimes face going on.
Right.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
I'm gonna.
Screw you
So
guys.
we got to make Sean drink Big Red with an oatmeal cream pie when he comes down in a few months.
That's sugar overload.
Maybe on some of those. If I have too many of those adult beverages in one sitting, maybe I'll be up for it. Maybe I'll be up for it. Okay, so Ryan mentioned that Dr. Pepper is now the number 1 liked soda in the world.
Number 2.
In the year. Number 2. Okay.
2, yeah.
The year that you were born, Ryan, 78, right?
Yes.
And Trenton, were you 78 or 79?
79.
79. Okay, so Ryan, Dr. Pepper was the most popular flavor the year you were born. And T, Mellow Yellow, had just come out.
I forgot all about Mellow Yellow. That's good. That's a good call.
That's another one.
I always see it in those digital ones that Sean was talking about. You can get them all. They have all the flavors and everything, and they have the 0 sugar ones too, and that which I like.
And my favorite spot to have a cherry mellow yellow when I'm eating, Five Guys. It's just something about that with, when
must be nice.
Well, yeah, when you got to auction one of your kids' livers off
Yeah.
to be able to
You only
eat
have to
there.
pay $30 for a combo.
Yeah, for me, and then I
I
gotta get
know
everybody
for
else.
one person.
I might as well go to a restaurant and get a tiny ass piece of steak, you know.
True.
But all right, well, that was a fantastic top 5, guys. Tonight, here in a few minutes, the NBA Finals tip off. Like we said, finally, but we got the Mavericks taking on the Boston Celtics. The Celtics clearly were the preseason favorite to make it from the Eastern Conference to the finals. They haven't really played a meaningful game since the middle of March. And every playoff team they faced, their star player has been hurt or has gotten hurt. So the Mavs taking out the Clippers. And then they beat, who did they beat in the second round? Brain fart.
The Mavs beat the T-Wolves, Clippers, and you mean who they beat in the first round?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Anyways, who cares? It's been so long we forgot and I screwed that up. But anyways, Mavs making their third finals appearance and the Celtics their 23rd. Celtics are going for number 18 and the Mavs are looking for ring number 2. So T, who you got and what do you think the biggest factors to your pick are going to be?
I really think the Mavs. I think the Mavs can win, and I think as long as they play the way they have been from basically the trade deadline up until now, I think they have a good chance. Um, Boston's a great team. I think this is gonna be a really good series. I think the Mavs win in 7, and I'm sorry, in 6 or 7. Um, I think it depends on if I think a lot of it depends on the Mavs extra players, role players can step up and play the way they have been. Because Boston's deep. So I mean even with getting poor Dinger back, like uh he brings something to the he definitely brings a lot to the table and all, but like a lot of people on that Boston squad, they can score, they can play defense, and get a Dinger running around out there. And so he does make a huge difference.
We pressed the wrong
Just
button.
I just don't think you just hand the title to Boston. You know what I mean? I don't think that's possible. I think Jaylen Brown's a big key for Boston. I think Derek White's an even bigger piece for him, along with Tatum. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be a fun. I think it's gonna be a fun finals. I don't think there's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be one sided. So, but yeah, my heart tells me the Mavs can do this, and I'm gonna roll with them. Even though at the end of the day, whoever wins, I'm totally happy with.
Ryan, I pose the same question to you.
Well, it's a tough one. I think it's going to be the series is going to be really competitive. At least I hope it is. But I like the Mavs in 7. Main reason is they got the best player out of both teams, which is Luka Doncic, and then they have one of the best closers in Kyrie Irving as well. I think Tatum and Brown are going to get tested a lot. I really thought man, you just saw the Mavericks. I'm not saying they tempered, Anthony Edwards in the last series, but man, they really had held Towns down, so kind of wondered the same thing is going to happen to Tatum. And is Jaylen Brown going to be the guy that's going to have to step up? I don't know. I just don't, I don't know.
He has been the guy though. Brown's been the one stepping
True.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tatum's numbers, I mean, they're not like terrible.
True.
It's just he hasn't. It seems like it's been flowing around Brown.
True.
Well, shouldn't it be if he's the highest paid player in the league?
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of when you should.
Yeah.
But didn't make an All NBA team. So
yeah, I know, right?
First All NBA or whatever.
But Tatum made first team for the 3rd straight year.
Well, his season stats weren't first team anyways. Maybe second team, but so you can't ever judge it by the paycheck, I guess. But yeah, I like the Mavs, man. I just think I don't know, man. Something just tells me the way they're playing right now. I think they've had a much tougher go, and I just feel like that team that gets tested more, is usually the team that comes out on top. Like you said, the Celtics have had every star player on the opposing team hurt, during their series. So I don't know how much they've really been tested. And the East, I mean, let's be honest, it's not as strong as the West, that's to come out of the West is a challenge. You almost feel like you win something coming out of that conference. So, but yeah, I just don't know if the Celtics can hold up to it, man. I mean, they got some great players, but I like the Mavs in 7. I did see a stat. I was going to steal it from ESPN, but I just saw that Luka leads all players in the playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists. So
all offensive,
all of
yep.
I mean, all the 3 most important offensive categories. He's leading. He's leading in. So pretty impressive. And man, I just think he tops it off, man, with the championship. So Mavs in 7.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna go Mavs in 6, but both of you guys picked the Mavericks, so I'm gonna change it. So I'm gonna go Celtics in 6.
Well,
I mean,
I think the Cats going Celtics in 7. I can hear.
Yeah. Yeah. He agrees with you.
Thing can't decide if she wants to stay in or go out. So, but come in and get some water and then head back out. But
right.
on paper,
they do.
On paper, the Celtics are the better team.
True.
But like was said, Luka is the best player. Kyrie is a killer in the close. I got it firsthand last series. They took quick care of, the T-Wolves, but Mavs are playing really good. Celtics have had that big break too. So are you going to get some rust when they first come out? I know they've been at home, but there's just a lot of Porzingis.
Sure.
How much of a factor is he really? But
he said he's not 100%. So
I think it's Drew Holiday. I think it's Drew Holiday and Derek White that'll win this series, because I think they're gonna do the same thing that they did to Anthony Edwards, and they're gonna blitz him with the double team, like as soon as he gets over half court with the ball. So I think Dallas should mix it up, and Kyrie and Luka should bring the ball up to kind of free up Luka. But
you're saying that Derek White and Drew did that to who? To Anthony Edwards, you said?
No, I'm saying that those are my 2 keys for Boston to win.
Okay.
Because I think Dallas is gonna blitz Brown and Tatum and force them to make that pass. But it seemed to work. But Boston's got more scores than the T-Wolves really do. So how they're gonna double team? Because if you double team Brown, then Tatum, if he's hitting, but this guy has the most pressure on it. I mean, everybody talks about Tatum, but Brown was there the year before. So it's Brown who's not, won a big title. But I think the series could go either way. But I think the longer the series goes, Dallas has got a better chance to win, just because it's going to tighten up. That's when the best players in the world step up, and Luka's shown he's ready to do it. I mean, this would be the perfect opportunity for Tatum to do it. But if the series goes longer, the pressure starts to build for Boston. And, they're not great at home during the playoffs, basically 500 the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So I think that I wanted to go Mavs in 6 just because of the way Luka's playing. And it's like, how do you stop him? There's no way to stop him. The only way is him. Maybe he gets a technical. So I wonder if Vegas keeps the over-under on Luka arm flails. Like, foul,
right,
foul, I mean, how does he shoot? His arm's got to be tired from doing that the whole game.
That's one of the downfalls. It's one of the downfalls of Luka, though, is he just complains after every shot. Pretty much, it's like, man, just knock all that off and focus on the game.
Yeah.
That's his generation of players, though. Now they're all softies.
A lot of them do. And it sucks because I mean it gets old to watch. Come on.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like NFL. They could call holding probably on every single play. They just call it on the most egregious one, I guess. But
I would love for LeBron to go back in time and play the 1990 Detroit Pistons. I would love that, man. I would love that.
He'd have more than one toe twisted up, man.
Oh man, yeah. You think his foot's jacked up now? Damn.
If people don't know, just Google LeBron's foot and you'll see.
With caution.
Yeah. Let's just say he does not have a post-career as a foot model.
No.
Talk about Lonely Island.
Yeah. Well, like they say.
Well, since we're on back,
right?
That's right.
When in Rome.
When in Rome.
Man, I was born a toe, man. I don't want to be a toe. I want to be a knee. That's what he's trying to go. That's what he's trying to go be.
Right. He's working his way up. All right. Well, since we're on basketball, the big news last week has been the hard foul that was on Caitlin Clark. Or is this just an overreaction? Because I don't know if you guys saw the Indiana press came out and said it was the hard foul was almost, as should be considered an assault. Like, I mean,
no.
it's
part of basketball. It happens.
Yeah, I mean, you usually don't see like a hip check like right before the inbounds. Like that was straight hockey into the boards.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'd call it assault. I mean, I get it where I guess I kind of understand where they're coming from, but like you just said, I mean, hockey. I mean, I know basketball is not hockey. I'm not saying that, but same time, it's still a physical sport, and getting a little roughed up here and there. I mean, I don't know why people can be completely upset at that. I mean, I don't now. Was it a cheap shot? I mean, kind of. Why it happened? Not too sure. I mean, Sean and I talked about it last week. But I mean, I just think some of these girls are super envious of her, maybe even somewhat jealous in a way, or they're also protecting their territory. You know what I mean? It's like she's a rookie coming in with all this hype, and I just think some of those girls don't want her to, or not don't want her to have such a cakewalk. If you know what I mean, like, oh, here comes a little princess in, and this and that, different leagues. So I mean, it's not college, and it's an adult thing. So I'm not mad at it. I just think it's kind of, I guess, somewhat entertaining in a way where it's like okay, but I mean, same time though, I think the girls need to understand like how much hype and what she's doing for the sport. You know what I mean? It's a crazy amount. Like Sean was saying, or Jason was saying something about the attendance level between her games and everyone and the rest of the teams.
Sure,
it's like half. It's half.
It's like almost, yeah. So I mean, that's just pretty crazy. But I mean, again, some of these ladies have been around for a couple of years, and they've established themselves in the league, and they're protecting their territory in a way. So I'm sure more is going to come. I think it's just something she's got to buck up and know it's coming, and just be that mad dog mentality, because it's going to happen. They're going to rough her up even more.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. If I was a Fever coach, I would have put an enforcer in to take that other broad out. That's what I would have done. I would have said,
one of her teammates.
Fuck it, yeah.
None of her teammates ran out.
I know, and that tells me something. These ladies should be kissing the court she plays on, because she's the reason anybody even gives a shit about the NBA. Let's be honest. They draw 2,000 to 3,000 a game. They ain't got no lucrative TV rights. These ladies make 40,000 to 50,000 a year. They all have to play overseas. She's getting you shit that you'll probably never have a chance to get if she was not in the league. You want to treat her like crap? Go ahead. I don't care. Do it. I'm not upset with the foul. I'm just saying her coach should have called the biggest lady on her team and said, take this broad out next time she has the ball. Push her. I don't know. Bill Lambier. Knock the crap out of her.
Yeah.
That's what I would have told them.
Plus now, the WNBA for the next 2 seasons have all their flights chartered instead of them having to fly commercial. There's definitely some
and no Angel
jealousy.
Reese. It's not this draft class. These rookies. No one gave a crap who you were, who the number 1, who the number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pick were. They're there for her. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. You got to accept it. Everybody was fine playing second fiddle to Jordan, and he elevated the game. Magic and Bird elevated the game, made everybody better, got them paid more money. They should not complain about it. She's doing the same thing for women's basketball.
She doesn't. She talks trash on the court, but they all do. But it's not like she came in and was boasting and bragging.
Sure.
So I don't know. It's just a little tedious. But Brian, I got a question for you. If I can just locate it. Oh, anyways, I can't find it. Oh, here we go. How about them Cowboys? All right, it's Cowboy time. Just kidding. The NFL is still in the headlines, guys, and we're in June. OTAs are starting up here soon, and the Cowboys stuck in their predicament. Do they re-sign Dak? Let him hit the free agent market. Do you sign C.D. Lamb now that Justin Jefferson got his big contract? Or do you sign Micah Parsons? Or is there a big trade or something happening soon in Dallas?
I could see that. I think definitely pressures on Dak and McCarthy this year. They don't deliver, they're gone. But I don't know if they want to trade him before they don't have, before Dak doesn't have any value. Maybe you find a team that's interested. I don't know if they wait till the season starts to do that. I don't know. That's a tough call there. I think they know they have to roll with what they have now to have a chance. Because I think you're pretty much giving up on the season if you trade Dak. I'm not saying he's going to lead them to the promised land, but he still gives them the best option to win, right now at least. So CeeDee Lamb, man, you're just going to have to pay him. If you want him to be your franchise guy, you got to buckle down and pay him. Is Parsons expendable? I don't know. Maybe. They exercise the 5th-year options. I believe he has till through next year. So, but I don't know, man. He's going to want, who was it that just signed it? Was it TJ Watt that just signed a big money contract, or Myles Garrett? It was one of those guys.
It was Brian Burns.
Oh, yeah. Well, Brian Burns, I know. He's getting paid for sure. But, he's going to want more money than that. Parsons is going to want more money than that. So you got to decide, man, what's important, So I don't know.
They'd have over $100 million committed to just 3 players, because they're talking like Dak could get $60 million. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback, but we know what's the playoff.
Sure.
Has been,
when it counts, he's not there.
Okay, so say Dallas gets off to a 1-4, 2-5 start. Do you think they'd fire McCarthy in season?
Possibly, yeah. I think they would.
I think they would, definitely.
And then I could see them trading Dak because, last year over 60 quarterbacks played. So
someone would take him for sure. Yeah. Well, who knows now? You never know. Kirk Cousins is still coming back from a hurt knee, so he may not be 100%. They may say we don't want to throw Penix out there, and I don't know.
What if that kid just balls?
There's a good chance. There's a good chance Penix will. I think. I don't know. There's just something tells me, man. Dallas is in a little bit of kind of like Ryan said, it's an all or nothing thing, right? Like you're either you have to they don't have a choice but to try to go out with this team they have and win it all. Because if they don't, I mean, they can't afford to sign all those guys. And so it's like, what do you keep? I mean, you got to keep. I feel like you have to keep Parsons, and you know, I hate to say it, but I think Dak has had his chance. So if he doesn't get the job done, I think you move on from him. You sign CD and you bring in a young blood or someone that can just attack enough to get the ball to CD and stuff like that and keep building because they have no run game either. So
Right.
well, at least on paper right now they don't have a run game.
Or is Trey Lance going to be that guy?
Or, maybe Trey Lance can be.
I don't know.
I don't think he's better than Dak, honestly.
He was the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. I mean,
and he's already been traded. Now he's been on the bench for a couple of years. So I don't know on that. You know what I mean? But I feel like Dax has opportunities. So it's just kind of like, well, do you keep him and let your number one wide receiver walk away? Like, I mean, I wouldn't. I would be like, hey man, Dak hasn't really done bad. It's just that he hasn't gotten to the promised land, and so that's where a lot of organizations base a lot of your success at. And I mean, if they get the NFC Championship game, I could see them, I guess, keeping him. But like, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's all.
That's almost a must. Like he has to get them there, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's like a must. He has to.
And I think if they don't, I mean, clearly McCarthy's out. I think Belichick comes in, and I mean, with that, probably Dak's out too. And I mean, they're a mess. I mean, they're under a lot of pressure. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. You know what I mean? So, sucks for all Cowboy fans.
What? What the hell do you mean by that?
Sean's happy. Come on.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying.
Come join the bottom of the division. It's nice and warm.
Yeah, we share a bed. You know what I mean? So.
No, I think the Mandos are trending up this year.
I like the Commanders' outlook a little bit too, with Jaden.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Definitely so. I think they're trending up in the right direction. Again, it's just one of those things. I guess with the rookie quarterback, new coach, which I like Quinn a lot. I really do. There's been a lot of changes, and so
your defense will be set. Your defense will be set.
Defense will be better. Should be. I mean, you would think in theory it would be a lot better than it was. So, there's a lot to look forward to. I think it's just. Keep your expectations low and let them play and, see kind of where they're at. Like, if they make the playoffs, great. If they don't, there's a future. So Dallas is not in that position. Dallas has got to look at nothing but the Super Bowl or, championship game or Super Bowl. And if not, they're imploding.
Everybody wants that next Brock Purdy, that cheap quarterback they can pay, for the next 4 years.
Absolutely. That's what you do.
That's what everybody wants.
Yeah, why do you think the Bears went and got Keenan Allen and then brought in Gerald Everett? And got DeAndre
they added
Swift.
The weapons.
Load up
for the rookie
because
yep,
and then you can, maybe get him to sign a team friendly deal, But if you've got a great quarterback, you can pay them that extra money, but you can't pay good to middle of the road quarterbacks great money, and I think that's the predicament Dallas is in. And it just might be time to reset the button because you need a star wide receiver because 9 of the top 10 yardage receivers last year made the playoffs.
Yep.
So, but like Justin Jefferson with his big deal, he's going to make more than 11 teams total wide receiving group is paid.
Sure.
So there's always that risk factor. Like what if, like T said, Dallas has no running game. What if CeeDee Lamb gets hurt? Who's their number 2?
They're done.
Is it Brandon Cooks,
Turbin?
I guess.
Turbin, Cooks, bring back Cole Beasley. I don't know.
At least the Vikings have Addison, and some young talent.
Right, and they
So
got Aaron
Oh,
Jones. Hawkinson will be back mid-season from his knee injury. So there's a lot, on
they've
if
done
you
a lot
pay
better
the
job of
quarterback.
building that supporting cast, than the Cowboys have. They don't really have a supporting cast. So that's the problem.
not really.
That's why they're
No.
struggling to pay these guys right now. Because they're like, well, we don't have anyone else to go to. We're forced, their hands being forced.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's a mess. I mean, at the same time though, like they put themselves here. I mean,
true.
Jerry paid Dak all that money years ago, and I mean, again, Dak hasn't done anything necessarily wrong outside of just he hasn't gotten over the hump.
Sure.
And when you pay someone that money, or I guess the market's now climbing the way it is, and you have like much like you guys were just saying, you got Purdy out there, and you got other young quarterbacks that are not necessarily blowing the league up, but at the same time they're being consistent and they're winning huge games. And then Dak over there making what, 40 million a year or something. He can't get out of the first round of the playoffs. And so yeah, I mean, but again, Jerry did that himself. He paid Zeke all that money. He paid
Yeah, good point.
Dak all that money too. And so I mean they put all their money basically into two players and put themselves in the position they're in. So I don't feel sorry for them.
Plus, they
It's just where
lost
they're at.
Tyron Smith, and they lost Biotish, right? The center, he left.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
I mean, it's gonna be tough for Dallas. I welcome the
I think they still
implode.
have a good squad. I think they can go win some games. I mean, are they gonna go 12-5 again? I don't know about that, but I don't know. I think honestly, I think they struggle this year.
I mean,
That's what I think.
every year it's like I think the average over the last 5 years is 6 new teams make the playoffs every year. So I mean, if you just go through the NFC, Eagles will be in, Niners will be in, what Lions,
Packers will be in.
Packers.
Packers.
Packers and Lions for sure.
Mandos could surprise some
Hopefully
people.
the
Bears,
Bucks repeat.
right? The
The Bucks,
Bucks,
yeah.
the Falcons. I mean, the Bears. I really think are gonna have a good year with my boy Caleb. But anyways, yeah, I mean,
the Rams.
So, Rams, yeah. I mean, can't the Rams win the division? I mean,
over the Niners,
maybe
maybe
it tapers off. Who knows? Yeah, you don't know because, and then what? One fourth place finisher from the previous season has won the division or made the playoffs, like in I don't know how many years in a row. But
so see,
that's another
there's hope for y'all's
yeah.
team.
Yeah, or
who was
could be
who was
like
fourth in the East last year? Giants or Mandos?
Giants. No, actually, the Mandos.
Okay, so
because
see,
they
there you
had
go,
the-
T.
they had the
So
draft
your
pick.
team might win the division.
Maybe so. I highly doubt it, but I mean, the Eagles are stacked. I think a lot of it's going to be based on injuries, right?
Sure.
Like we saw it happen last year with everything. I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm not saying something like that's going to happen again. But there's going to be some key injuries, and like Sean was saying, it's like Cowboys start off 1-4 and 2-5, 2-6 or something. Do you pull the plug then, get something back out of Dak, like Ryan was saying too about, do you get something versus him just basically walking away? And do you implode then, and then you try to get, I don't know. I mean, it's a mess, man. And there's a lot of good teams, a lot of good young teams out there. I think it's just some of them can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Because again, a lot of it's those injuries come into play, and the next thing you know, it just derails a team.
Right.
I mean, no matter if it's offensive or defensive.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, it's gonna. I don't know. I mean, I think, like I said, I think the Cowboys struggle this year, and that's not me being a hater. So they got a lot of distraction going on now. And I feel like the slightest mistake, right? Even losing the first game of the season, I think he creates so much more drama. And I don't know. I'm not saying those players listen to that stuff. I just think that it creates turmoil.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I don't know. So, like I said, stinks for the fans. I mean, clearly they want to win, so it's just like just knowing they're probably not going to for a little bit. So I've been there for decades.
Well, they open week 1 in Cleveland for Brady's first game as a broadcaster.
I mean, the Browns. I mean, not necessarily I trust the Browns, Deshaun Watson. You know what I mean? But like, you're gonna get shoved back. I mean, you got their defense. It's a road game. I mean, there's a good chance the Browns can sneak one out there, sloppy style.
Yeah, but they got some winnable games because they play the Saints week 2, but then they host the Ravens. Then they go to the Giants on a short week, and then they travel to Pittsburgh. Detroit comes to town, San Francisco after their bye week. So, I mean, it's up to Dak. But if Dak throws over 35 times, he has a horrible win-loss record. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll get to more of the NFL. But so to repeat, Ryan likes the Mavs in 7. T likes the Mavs in 6. I like the Celtics in 6, but I'll put my disclaimer for this show on that pick, and I would have picked Mavs in 6. But T, give me your finals MVP.
Oh man, I mean, if the Mavs win, you got to think it's got to be Luka. I mean, maybe Kyrie can sneak in there. I guess we'll see, but I feel like if the Mavs win, it's because of Luka. So, yeah, he'd be my MVP. If the Celtics win, I'm going to say it's Jaylen Brown.
Wow.
All right. Who you got, Ryan?
Man, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say if the Mavs win, yeah, I do think it's Luka, kind of a dark horse. I mean, we could say Luka or Irving. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say if it's not either one of them two, it could be PJ Washington.
Yeah, I like that.
Just kind of a dark horse pick for that. But I think if the Celtics win, I think it's going to be Tatum.
Kind of like oh, sorry. I was going to say that reminded me of when Andre Iguodala won the Finals MVP for the Warriors.
Yeah. He plays good defense, and he does a lot of things that you may not see in the stat sheet. But man, he's pretty vital to that team. So that's who I could see kind of sneaking away with it if it's not Luka. But I think, like T said, if the Mavs win, it's probably like a 90% chance that Luka's the reason that they win it all. So
yeah,
kind of like when Dirk won it for him. There's really no way that Dirk wasn't going to win the MVP that year. It was all him.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I like your pick though, Ryan. As far as Washington, I like that player.
Yeah.
I like that player pick a lot. Honestly, do. It's creative and it's not you're not far fetched there on that because I mean he did have a slower series with the T-Wolves.
Yeah.
But I mean
he was key against the Thunder. The Thunder and Clippers. He was pretty good.
Washington was clutch in the fourth quarter against the T-Wolves. He always seemed to pop that corner 3.
Yeah.
Right when they were making a run to try to get back into it. But I like the out on the limb pick. So I would have taken the obvious, Tatum. But I'm gonna go Drew Holiday. I love Drew Holiday. He would be a wonderful fit on any team. But yeah, and if Dallas wins, it should be Luka. But I don't know.
I like the Holiday pick though too, Sean. Like you have a really good point on that. I mean, he's already won a championship. When Giannis got hurt, he carried him through the rest of the playoffs to get there and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I like the Holiday pick as well.
Yep, and I think hasn't Al Horford played the most playoff games without winning a title?
Yes,
I think he has that stat now. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's entertaining. I think all games, I mean, are close. I just don't see any blowouts unless Boston goes, because I think the last time they played the Mavs, they hit like 21 threes.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say
they start
hitting those three. They start hitting the threes, and Dallas is saying got one of those off nights. The ball's just not want to go in. Then maybe, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. If Boston's going to shoot that many threes, they better make them.
Right.
I'll just say that.
Well, they led the league in attempts and makes. So, you know, that's a big portion. And they could have 5 guys at one time that could shoot a 3.
Yep.
So, and so could Dallas. I mean, if they change their lineup and go smaller. But we'll see how big of a factor of Porzingis or Pordinger coming back, as T likes to say.
Pordinger.
But, guys.
Credit to Balzani on that.
Oh, nice. We will definitely give Balzania some credit, some love here.
Pordinger. Hey, I know one quick thing I wanted to touch on that I sent you guys, that the football schedule around the holidays. I know T checked it out, but from 12/19 to 1/12, there's at least a college football playoff game or an NFL game every day from 12/19 to 1/12, disregarding January 2nd, 3rd, 4th. But at least from 12/19 to New Year's Day, there's football on every single day. That 2-week stretch, which is awesome. Which is freaking awesome.
Yeah. No, what was always cool about the bowls, you know, they start the bowl month, and so it was like, okay, well, there's at least a game on winners, you know. But it's gonna be fun.
I mean, if it was Ryan's Duke Mayo Bowl or the Holiday Bowl, it was always some good bowl games. It'd be Folk Brady. I mean, that was the thing, man. It was like back in the day, you know, everybody wanted New Year's Eve off so they could go party. It'd be like, sure, I'll work, you know. You can throw me some extra cash to work for you, and then I'll take New Year's Day off. And while you're struggling to be at work, I'll be stocked up with munchies and goodies on my couch with the money you gave me to work for you. Not answering my phone if you wanted me to work for you.
Exactly.
But and then bowls from noon till bedtime, kind of like the college basketball tournament on that one day. But Ryan, it's been a while.
Yes.
Why don't you tell these people where they can find us?
Yes, you can find us, The Real Tree Shakers. We are on YouTube. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Amazon Music. We are on iHeart Radio. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. Please find us. Please subscribe. Please listen. Let us know what you want to hear, and we will definitely try our best to make that request come true.
Hey, when the lights go down.
Quiet storm.
The lights go.
Yeah. And, you know, jump on the bandwagon now because we are going global. Because shout out to Sweden, Bulgaria, the UK, Ireland, Germany, of course, here in the US. We got a lot of work to do to grow, but we are starting to spread. And India loves our YouTube page. They watched a lot. So keep it coming, people. We love it. Guys, it is my favorite day of the week, but sadly, you know what? We got too many damn buttons on this thing. I struggle to find it. But guys, as always, it's been fun. We'll be back next time to break down the start of the NBA Finals. Hopefully it's not over. But this has been the Real Tree Shakers Show.
Peace.
Peace out.